hates her. I'm so sorry to use such strong language. He does not like his wife. He resents her. It's abundantly clear from this latest video that Prince Harry is incredibly miserable and he does not like his wife. Now, this latest cringeworthy video was released by Meghan on her Instagram. Of course it was, because Meghan lives on the internet and is preoccupied with building a social media presence so that she can be very successful after her divorce from Prince Harry. So she's released this video. And by the way, what kind of normal person sets up a camera to watch herself and to film herself looking at a sports game? Make it make sense. So they're in their luxury house in Montecito. And of course, they've got a beautiful cinema in-house paid for by peddling lies about the royal family and throwing the monarchy under the bus in the books Spare, in the documentary series Harry and Meghan on Netflix, and in the traitorous Oprah interview. So from those ill-gotten gains, Harry and Meghan have this palatial house, and they've got a spa, and they've got a steam, and they've got a sauna, a massive kitchen, a wine cellar, which is good news because Meghan likes a drink, she puts it away, and Harry drinks to forget the terrible sacrifices that he's made for this marriage. And of course, they've got the gardens, and they've got the many, many bedrooms, 16 toilets, we're told, which is appropriate given the amount of effluence that this couple produce on a daily basis. And they have a luxury cinema room. How the other half live. And what they're doing is they're watching this, mega important American sporting game, right? Super, super competitive. It's the LA Dodgers and the Blue Jays, the Toronto Blue Jays. I know nothing about North American sport. You won't get analysis from me on that. What you will get analysis from me on is the fact that Harry does not like Meghan. He does not like his own wife. The body language reveals everything. So she's released. What she's done, Meghan, is that she's set up a camera and recorded herself, Harry, and her best friend, one of my best friends that I met 3 days ago, one of my new best friends who I've known for 11 minutes, one of my new best friends that I've never met before but will when they're on the payroll of my TV show. Okay, so she's with a friend of hers, and there's Harry. So there's three of them, a throuple, in this home cinema, paid for out of the misery of the royal family, paid for by the awful book Spare, which is 600 pages of self-pitying diarrhea. So anyhow, she sets up a camera. What kind of human being films themselves watching a sports game? What is going on? But of course, we know what's going on. Meghan is super ambitious, and it's all about those clicks. It's all about staying relevant, about making headlines, and it's all about her because she is a wild narcissist. So she sets this up, this camera, and don't forget, this is the same Meghan that brings a camera crew with her for the pumpkin session a few days ago, just before Halloween. We covered it on the show. Harry and Meghan and Harry's second husband, no less, a guy called Marcus Anderson, who's a kind of top private member club entrepreneur, right? She took a camera crew around there. Now she's filming herself watching this sports game. And it's a very, very revealing video, A, because of Meghan's crazy ego and wild narcissism, but also because it just speaks volumes about what Harry thinks of Meghan. He doesn't like her. He does not like his own wife. So let's have a look at this. So the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were filmed embracing in a video posted to Meghan's Instagram stories, whatever that means, after the Los Angeles Dodgers clinched a dramatic World Series victory over the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't know what any of that means, but I'm not here to analyze the sport. I'm here to analyze a relationship which is over, which is why the Mark Dolan show is the first show in the world to have placed Harry and Meghan on 24/7 divorce watch. That marriage is over. And the interesting thing is that whilst I've often speculated in the past and reflect on the fact that Meghan looks like she's checked out and is very focused now on her own career, her own life, she sees that house as her house. It's her country, the USA. It's her kids. It's her Netflix deal. But actually, from this video, you can see that Harry's done. Harry is done. He is so over this. and he'll be looking for some kind of gold-plated ladder to climb down by way of an exit from this marriage. Of course, it won't happen because everything is on Meghan's terms. So the courtship was on Meghan's terms and their early romance. She hoodwinked him. She absolutely conned him into that marriage. This guy did not walk into that marriage aware of the facts. He was in lust because she's a decent looking woman, and she knew exactly how to manipulate and to love bomb and to essentially be this, rather chilling, controlling, zombie-like creature in his head. She tricked him. She tricked him into marriage. He was done over. She did a number on him. He is the victim of a con trick. That's what the marriage is. It's not a relationship. It's a hostage situation. It's a hostile takeover. So what happened is that they're watching this sport, which is an American sport. The LA Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays. How about those Blue Jays? And in the monochrome clip, black and white, Meghan's taken time to put this in black and white to make it kind of moody and like a period piece, to give it atmosphere, make it grainy. And it was recorded in their private cinema room. Meghan can be heard squealing with excitement off camera as her close friend, Kelly McKee Zafin, moments later, what they're doing is they're celebrating. I can't explain the sport to you. I don't know what it is. It baseball? Is it basketball? Is it American football? I don't know. I think it's baseball. But what's happened is they're watching this game of American sport, and moments later, the Duchess bursts into view, exclaiming, "Oh my God," as she rushes towards Harry and kisses him on the lips. Now, the video went viral, okay, and so did the backlash. Many online critics accused Meghan of staging the moment, which of course she did. Everything's staged. Everything's planned. With Meghan, nothing happens by accident. Nothing whatsoever. Accused of staging the scene for the cameras, claiming the moment looked conveniently set up to appear spontaneous. Well, that's our Megs, my husband. And let's have a proper analysis of the video now. So note how Harry's got his arm over his head. Do you see that? His arm is over his head, and his other arm is over his waist, very defensively. So arm over his head. It's just a very sort of awkward sort of thing he's got. Like, he looks really, really uncomfortable. That body language is defensive. His left hand scrunched together in a fist. Do you see that? Scrunched together in a... I'm not that bendy, am I? I'm not a candidate for yoga. I think we can agree on that. So his left hand scrunched together in a fist, his right leg pointed up, again in a very defensive manner. Harry is not in a safe relationship. That union with Meghan is unsafe for Harry. Harry is not safe. He doesn't like his wife. He detests her, and he's not safe. He isn't safe. It's not a safe relationship. Harry is unsafe, and it breaks my heart because he's a broken, damaged man. He's a very foolish and thick individual, catastrophically lazy and really unintelligent. But what I will say is he's a damaged soul. All right? He's got PTSD. He's got trauma. He was born world famous. That can't be fun. He lost his mother when he was a young boy. It breaks your heart. Now, many of you have said to me in the comments, that's no excuse for his behavior. You've lost relatives. You've lost parents. Some of you have been orphaned at a young age, and my heart goes out to you. And you're absolutely right. It's not an excuse, but it's an explanation. It's an explanation as to how Meghan hoodwinked Harry, right, in a contract, tricked him into marriage. And it isn't a safe relationship. And that's why Harry sits there in this very, very defensive body language position. So he's got his arm over his head. his other arm over his waist defensively, his left hand scrunched together in a fist, which is a fighting mechanism. This guy cannot relax. He's on edge the whole time. He is in fight mode because you've got fight or flight. You either run away or you fight. And he's in fight mode. His fist is already clenched and his knee is up in the air, so much as to say, stay away from me. This is not a safe relationship. And when Meghan runs over to him, his body language doesn't change. Okay, so she runs towards him. Any normal person that liked their wife would throw their arms open like that and say, come over here, give me a big old cuddle, give me a big old kiss. That's what would happen. Your partner runs towards you and, maybe you've got your arms folded or something. Perhaps you're watching a movie together or something, and your partner comes over. And when you see your partner walking over to you, you change my partner's coming towards me. I love my partner. So the shoulders drop, a little smile on the face like that. That's what I do when Mrs. Dolan's around. Isn't she lucky? Your partner comes towards you. If you like your partner, the shoulders drop and the hands open like that. And you reach out and you're like, and big cuddle. Love it, love it, love it, love it. That's what you do. Let me get myself in shot there. Do you see that? That's what you do. Harry doesn't do that. When she runs over to him, his body language doesn't change. He remains in that defensive position and just gingerly moves his hands slightly around her waistline, but not all the way around like that. No, just almost as if to say, I'm not safe. I may need to push you away because you are foe, not friend. And the other thing that's very interesting is he can barely crack a smile. Have you seen anything more pitiful than Harry's smiles since he got married? Harry's smiles post that wedding to Meghan and post Megxit are the stuff of nightmares because his smiles are so temporary, so short-lived, so false. He kind of goes, it's a Harry smile. Hello, darling. Wonderful. Like that. Very, very brief. It's terrible. This is a smile. Do you want to see a smile? That's a smile. Okay? Just a genuine smile. Like that. When did you last see Harry? And you see it in the eyes. It's in the eyes. Even if you have the smile, if the person's not happy, you'll see it in the eyes like this. Right? The eyes are still sad. The eyes actually tell the truth. Blue eyes, baby's got blue eyes. I promise you, it's in the eyes. And I'm by her side, I'll be far away. This is the best bit. And I say, blue eyes laughing in the sun, laughing in the rain. So, he can't crack a smile because he's so unhappy. And he simply does not like his wife. He doesn't like Meghan. It's not a safe relationship. He's not happy. He hates her. He does. And I don't use that language lightly. And just look at that expression on his face. Just staring at the cinema screen. Glaring. Dead behind the eyes. That expression on his face with his, very uncomfortable position like that. Very odd. This is a guy that's at home. And he should be, the body language, when I'm at home with my dressing gown, my pipe and slippers, I'm super chill. I'm very, very relaxed. Everything's just all is good with the world. But not Harry. And I'm deeply concerned about him. This guy is glaring at the cinema screen. He's had the life sucked out of him. He is living a joyless existence. And he's so bored. It's so boring. Harry wasn't put on this earth to just be in California, which is a climate that doesn't suit his Celtic features. Okay, he's a Northern European. He needs snow, wind, rain, and sleet. Harry needs sleet. That's what he's missing is sleet. Because the Harry habitat is to be in a sleet-infused environment. He needs sleet. He really, really does. And so there you go. He's so unhappy. And it's interesting because Meghan is watching this game and she's so excited. And it's her victory because her team, the Dodgers, have won. I don't know what the game is, the sport. Is it pickleball? Are they playing golf? Is it American golf? Help! So he's so bored. And this is Meghan's victory. It's all about her. She's filming herself, which is, by the way, that is a freak show. To set up a camera to film yourself watching a game of sport is a freak show. Is what it is. It is a freak show in which Harry is trapped. No wonder he's not happy. So this is her victory. It's all about her. And don't forget that she controls his public profile now because it's her house, it's her country, it's her kids, it's her Netflix deal. It is her public relations people. It is her staff. Meghan calls the shots. And she decides now when we see Harry. He doesn't have an X account or Facebook or any of that stuff. He's got no way of communicating with the public, which is exactly what Meghan wants. She doesn't want him having a platform or a voice. This is what happens when you control someone and take over their life. You cut them off from their family. You cut them off from their friends. Don't forget the Royal Butler told me on my Talk TV show that Harry doesn't speak to his friends anymore in England. Right? That's from the Royal Butler, Grant Harold, who knows his onions. He knows his onions. And you cut that person off from their geographical location. Well, she's done that because she's taken him to the United States. So she decides everything, and now we get a glimpse of Harry, and she's made a big mistake because the more of these videos that we see, the more we know that Harry's in trouble, that he's in a dark place. And the funny thing is that she's an actress, not a very good one. Harry's not an actor at all. He wears his heart on his sleeve. That's why he can't pretend to be happy, even if he tries. And that's why the smile is so temporary. Poor Harry, world's least happy millionaire, but I'm really happy, I promise, believe me. Look at my smile, I'm so happy. It's all worked out so well, you know. It was such a great idea, leaving England and giving up my royal titles and being the most popular royal than even the Queen. You know, it's worth giving all that up just to be a popular guy that just enjoyed his life back in the day, drinking beers and chasing girls, you know. I'm so glad I gave all that up, man. And untold riches. Now I've got no money and I'm flat broke and no job and sent to Bali as a smoking ruin of a charity. Humpy dumpy dump African parks, yikes, it's all gone horribly wrong. Yeah, I'm so glad I did it though. Such a good idea being trapped in this loveless marriage with this human freak show of a wife that films herself watching weird American sports that Mark Dolan doesn't know what the sport is. Is it pickleball? So, I mean, he's so bored and he's so unhappy. And she's celebrating her victory of this unusual sport, which features the Dodgers. The LA Dodgers. I, by the way, would be, if I was going to choose a team, I would take the LA Dodgers. And the reason why is because the Dodger Stadium is the home of music history with that famous Elton John concert in 1974 when he was the biggest star in the world. And what a concert that was. Iconic! And he dressed up as a Dodgers player. Yeah, now I can remember it's baseball because Elton has a baseball bat and he stands on the piano and he does a pretend like that. One of the highlights of his career. Did you know that poor man, literally the day before the concert, he had to be fished out of his own swimming pool because he took an overdose and jumped in the pool in front of his family and friends. See, money doesn't buy you happiness, folks. They pumped his stomach, put him to bed, and the next day he does the biggest show of his career. Wild. So I do have an affection for the Dodgers as a result of that. And I like LA. It's a lovely city. I think what I like about LA, it's a place, it's so wrong it's right. Do you know what I mean? It's an industry town, it's Hollywood, and it's kind of dysfunctional, soulless, a lot of traffic, but I don't know, it's kind of earthy and gritty and almost, you know, inhuman. I like it. I don't know why, but I like LA. I like LA a lot. Right. So, yeah, it's not fluffy. That's fine. It's very Darwinian out there. Fair enough. It's the survival of the fittest, just like YouTube. You're welcome. So Harry is so bored. He's so unhappy. And this is Meghan's victory. It's all about her. And, you know, it's a metaphor. She's the one that decides it's time for an embrace. Right? She's got her friend there. Where are his friends? If he's watching baseball, which I've realized that's the game it is. It's baseball. You're welcome. When he's watching the baseball, why hasn't he got his mates there? Why aren't there some lads? You know, where's Fat Tony and Big Steve? Where's obese Bobby? Guzzling his Budweisers. Where are his mates? Hey, Harry, I'm obese Bobby. Can I get another beer? Hey, Harry, can we get popcorn? Hey, Harry, I need pretzels. Harry, where's the dip for the tacos? I'm obese. What's his name again? Bobby, I'm obese. Harry, I need peanuts. I need peanut butter and jelly. Harry, where's the Baconator? Let's get a Wendy's. I quite like Wendy's, actually. And the Hooters deliver? Okay. He should be with his buddies, and he should have a big fat friend. Everyone needs a big fat American friend called Obese Bobby. Okay? And he's a unit. And his calf muscles are as wide as a child's entire midriff. Right, this is what he just needs. What I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is that, baby, by being an A student, baby, you become the one to say, oh, don't know much about history, don't know much biology. What I do know is I love you. But if this world could be with you, what a wonderful world it would be. History, biology. Right, this is the problem. This is why sometimes you and I don't get along. Okay? And I love you. This is family now. But sometimes I have difficulties with you because you interrupt me with your song requests and your remarks. And I'm trying to provide detailed analysis of Harry and Meghan's failing relationship and also quite a smart, intelligent overview of the baseball game. I think I've talked myself down. I've done myself a disservice. I think my analysis of the game has been pretty sharp. It's been pretty potent. I think I've described the game well. And I think when you see this video, you're going to learn quite a lot about baseball, actually. Thank you. So, where are his friends? He needs his buddies. But no, there's nothing, you see, because he can't have anyone that's there for him. There can't be anyone that's in Team Harry, because then Meghan won't have control. She won't have control. And that's what it's about. It's control. And that's why I'm furious. I'm actually quite protective of Harry now. I'm feeling quite protective of him. Because I actually think that this is not a well man. And you know something? He is the son of my king. And therefore I'm a little bit unhappy about this treatment of him. I know he's a fool. I know he's stupid. He's brought it on himself. I get you. I hear you. But beginning to feel a little sympathy. And he sat there with the fist scrunched. Like, by the way, this is almost impossible to do. I don't know. I need to be like the Dalai Lama or something just to get that right position there. And she's there, Kelly J. Zafin, I think her name is. I don't care. I don't care what Meghan's friend is called. Can I say she's a nice lady? Actually, she's very sweet. She was in the With Love Meghan TV series. Let me call up her name for you. No one really cares. But Kelly McKee Zafin, she's actually a nice lady. And she lost her little boy to an illness when he was very young. And that's, absolutely devastating. She's a very beautiful lady. She's a model. And she's very charming in the show. So I have no issue with that lady. In fact, I say God bless her. She's a sweetheart. Why she's friends with Meghan, oh my God, is anyone's guess. Well, I do know why. I can tell you why. Let me say just this. She's Meghan's friend because Meghan has hoodwinked her and conned her as well. With the swirly, whirly, snaky eyes, like the character from the Jungle Book. So this whole video is a metaphor for what's going on in their relationship, and it's an absolute diagnostic of how miserable Harry now is. And, Meghan's got her friend there. Harry hasn't got his mates. He's going to be drinking this Napa Valley rosé of Meghan's because she can't sell it, so he's got to drink it now. No one's going to spend $100 on 3 bottles of wine. No one with any half a brain cell. He should be having a keg of beers. He should have a 6-pack. There should be some Budweisers, which is the king of beers. Maybe some Miller Lite, maybe some Bud Light, because he's crazy woke, Harry, so he might like the Bud Light. But, either way, it's so, so wrong to witness what's going on here. And the thing is, we know he doesn't like Meghan, right? Harry doesn't like Meghan. And what you're seeing is a transition from not liking her to resentment to, I'm afraid to say, hatred. Every time they step out in public, it's there for all to see. As he trailed behind her in New York at the 100 Most Powerful Women event, serving as her assistant, her bag carrier, the help. When he shuffles into shot on her Netflix show, With Love Meghan, when he's got to walk into shot, right, on camera and go, well done, my love, you're so amazing. You're such an inspirational and brilliant person. And you can see he says it through gritted teeth. He doesn't like it. He does not like his wife. We see it as she avoids him on the kiss cam at the ball game. Do you know something? That to me was a borderline sackable offence. They went to another unusual American sporting game that I don't understand. I don't know if it was pickle hockey or base football. It might have been that. And they went to a game. They went to some kind of sporting event. And you've got this thing called the kiss cam. And what it is a camera that goes around the stadium and it will focus on a couple. And that camera shot is on a big screen in the venue. So all the thousands of people at the events, at the venue, at the sporting game of this unusual American sport, you've got these big screens. And then a couple will flash up on the big screen. And it's called the kiss cam. And the idea is that if you're with your partner and you appear on the kiss cam, clues in the title, you kiss them. And oh my God, the kiss cam comes up. And Harry leans in to kiss Meghan and she goes like that. Now, I'm going to tell you. That's a sackable offence. That is obscene. I don't know whether it's a divorce moment, but it's worthy of a very tough, honest conversation. Because you don't... Can I just be sexist for a second? I'm just going to be sexist for a second. I'm really sorry, but do you mind? We should have an item called Mark's Sexist Moment. But I don't think that a wife in the public gaze like that with a camera on you, I don't think it's right for the lady to spurn the man. By the way, can I be clear? It's not sexist at all, because the man should also not spurn the lady. And on the kiss cam, the guy must not go like that. So actually, this is not about the gender. It's just not right for your partner to spurn you so publicly, to humiliate you in front of 20,000 people in a sporting arena watching a weird, unusual American sport that no one understands except Americans and about 3 Canadians. And that is the thing. It was so bad, that moment, the kiss cam. And for me, if I was Harry, I'd be like, I'm out. Obviously, you could, I don't know. You could take one individual in discretion like that, but I thought that was a moment. Have you ever had that in your relationships? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever been in a relationship where something little and trivial happened and it made you realize this is not going to work? Because obviously, very often in relationships, it doesn't work because of enormous blazing rows and infidelity. Maybe your partner's been dishonest with you. Maybe there's money problems, okay? You have that. You have the big reasons why a relationship ends. But sometimes relationships end for, no, they don't end for a little thing. But I just want to ask you in the comments, has there ever been in your life a little moment, an insignificant moment that told you that your relationship was over? I've got a really good example of that. And it's a friend of mine I was at university with, lovely guy. And he was married to this lady who everyone hated. I have to tell you that. She was not liked by the family, by his friends. This guy, let's call him Richard, was very lovely. He was actually quite similar to obese Bobby. He was a big, chubby, lovely, cuddly, chubby man. Rugby player, loved a beer. Yeah, really, really generous, caring, sweet guy. Okay, we'll call him Richard. One helpful thing is I actually can't remember his actual name, so it's useful that we've come up with the name. Anyway, because I've forgotten what he was called, but let's call him Richard. And Richard was just a fun-loving rugby-playing guy, and he enjoyed his life, and he was good at university. He then falls in love with this rather skinny, pale, cold fish of a woman. Just a really inert, lifeless, dull, quiet, needy, selfish little person. Okay, he's with this, and they did not. Let's call her Jenny. She's still Jenny from the block. So you've got Richard and you've got Jenny. And for some reason, Richard is a bit like Harry. He's an absolute fool. And he just falls in love with Jenny. He just loves Jenny. He loves her. And he's like, I know she's an asshole. Whoops. Did I say that? I know she's not a nice person, but I really love her. So the family had to accept that they loved her. That he loved her, and they would, but they knew it wasn't right. Anyhow, it all went horribly wrong, and it ended in a very vicious, horrible divorce. But he was lovely and fluffy and sweet, and then she was an ice queen and not a nice person. Controlling, manipulative. Does that sound familiar? Okay, fine. So let me get to the story, which is that I had a beer with him a couple of years later, and he said, Mark, can I tell you the moment I knew that the relationship was over, that I couldn't do this? And I said, no, Richard, tell me what the story was, what happened. And he said that they had been out for the day. They'd been out walking. They're in the north of England, Cumbria. Isn't that a nice part of the world? You must, if you come to England, you check out Cumbria, the Lake District, absolutely stunning. Anyway, they'd been out having a lovely walk, with the walking boots and tweed jacket and hats and gloves and scarves and, rosy cheeks, all that. So they're out having a big old walk and having a great time, no problem. And they're driving home. And he says, I don't know about you, Jenny, but I don't fancy cooking this evening. And she's like, I don't fancy cooking either. I agree with you. He said, I've got an idea. Why don't we stop off on the way home, get a takeaway, get a takeout of fish and chips? Now, do you guys all know about fish and chips? A great British tradition. I mean, the Americans, the Canadians, the Australians, the New Zealanders, lots of people have fish and chips, but it's gorgeous. You've got like your cod or your haddock, and it goes into the batter, and then it goes into the deep fryer, and it's crispy and lovely. What's really clever about how you cook fish and chips is that it's similar to tempura, which is the East Asian cuisine. What you do when you put food in batter and then deep fry it, the protein inside, in this case the fish, kind of gets steamed. It's not really fried. It kind of gets steamed because you have the batter mix, which is sort of the outer shell, and then you just have this hot vapor that actually cooks the fish inside. And then you take the fish, take it out, and you can snap the fish in half, and all the steam pours out, and you've got this fluffy batter, delicious. And then the chips, the French fries, really, really nice. So fish and chips. And he was very excited about it, as you would be. All men get excited about fish and chips, especially in England. It's a huge thing for us. It's a very big deal, fish and chips. And you can't have it every day because you'll be dead by the age of 11. But if you have it as an occasional treat, it's perfect. So all is good, and they're driving home, and they collect the fish and chips back in the car, and then they drive home. And he said, darling, why don't you go ahead? I'll park the car and I'll see you in there. I think it was raining and stuff like that. So I think he dropped her off like close to the house so she wouldn't get wet or whatever. So she's like, yeah. So off she goes with the fish and chips into the house. He then moves the car, parks the car somewhere. A few minutes later, he comes to the house, he opens the door, and she's at the kitchen table, and she's opened all the fish and chips, and she's already started eating. So he's come in, there she is. She's opened it, and she's just begun eating. Yeah, she's like a couple of minutes, she's halfway through the cod. She has drenched the French fries in vinegar. She has dipped the French fries into the tomato ketchup. And she'd started without him. And it's funny, isn't it? It's so trivial, but it's not trivial at all. It's actually very significant. And that was the moment that the penny dropped for that guy, my friend Richard. That's when he woke up. He woke up, is what he did. He woke up. And he knew, and by the way, he did not immediately say, let's get a divorce or any of that stuff. No. He had his own moment of private grief, sat down next to her and said, aren't these chips delicious, darling? But inside, deep down, he knew at that moment it was over. Why? Because she'd started without him. This is a moment of togetherness. They'd spent the day together. They'd had a lovely day. And this was a shared moment where he sits down, she pours him a nice cold beer. And she says, darling, how much of this cod would you like? And she serve it and you have that share. Instead, he comes in and she's like, chips are good. Oh, I quite like the headache as well. So wrong. And I'm so glad that Jenny's out of his life. Can I tell you a great news? By the way, all of this is 100% all true story. He then married a lovely girl that he went to university with, who I knew. And they've since had about 57 children together. And this new lady will always wait for her man before starting dinner because it's a courtesy. The funny thing is, I don't really judge Jenny for that story because all Jenny was doing is revealing herself. And that's what Meghan has always done and always will do, is to reveal herself. And there is so much in this video to absolutely convey the fact that it's over, that she has no regard for Harry. He's the help, he's an assistant, he's the bag carrier, he's the plaything, he's the trophy husband. He is the source of royal credibility. And he gave her 2 kids and the fame, the pedigree, the position. She's had all of that. And beyond that, he is worthless to her. And even when she's affectionate, it's performative because it's on camera and it's on her terms. Can you imagine Harry watching some kind of unusual, weird American sport that I don't understand, and then he walks over and kisses her on the lips? No. What would happen? You'd have the kiss cam. And by the way, Meghan would not wait for Harry with the fish and chips. In fact, Harry gets into the house and Meghan's like, I finished it already. I'm going to bed. Good night, Harry. Bye-bye, my husband. Folks, it's been great to chat. Please like the video because it helps YouTube to distribute to others. Also, please subscribe because I want you into the family. I want you, when you subscribe, you have a seat at the table. And then what I want you to do is to please hit the notification bell, because when you hit the notification bell, then you're alerted to extra videos, which, by the way, are happening quite a lot these days. Quite a lot of emergency shows. Loving your company. Please stay in touch with me on the comments. I want to know what you think about all of this. Am I overreacting to Jenny's behavior towards Richard? Was that an overreaction, or do you agree with me that that was a moment? And if you had similar moments yourself, I think so. I think so. I think that's where I'm at. Folks, listen, have a great 24 hours. I'll see you tomorrow for the next show. Cannot wait. Bye for now. Holy Moses, I have been deceived. Now the wind has changed direction. I think I have to leave.